Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, saya Izati Gemise Insiani, dosen pada program studi S1 Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris Universitas Negeri Semarang. Video ini merupakan salah satu bentuk pernyataan diri dosen dalam unjuk kerja Tridharma Perguruan Tinggi dari unsur pengajaran dan terdiri dari 3 bagian, yaitu deskripsi mata kuliah, proses pembelajaran, dan penutup. Pada kesempatan ini, saya akan menjelaskan mata kuliah yang saya ampu sesuai dengan bidang keahlian saya, yaitu mata kuliah Introduction to Second Language Acquisition. Mata kuliah ini ditujukan bagi mahasiswa semester 6 dengan bobot 2 SKS dan dilaksanakan dalam 16 pertemuan selama 1 semester, yang terdiri dari 14 pertemuan pembelajaran, 1 ujian tengah semester, dan 1 ujian akhir semester. Mata kuliah ini bertujuan untuk mengembangkan pengetahuan dan keterampilan yang berkaitan dengan pemerolehan bahasa kedua yang relevan bagi mahasiswa pendidikan bahasa Inggris. Cakupan mata kuliah ini adalah 1. Pemahaman tentang proses pemerolehan bahasa pertama dan bahasa kedua. 2. Penerapan berbagai teori pemerolehan bahasa kedua dalam proses pembelajaran. 3. Faktor-faktor utama yang mempengaruhi motivasi belajar serta penguasaan berbagai teori yang akan menjadi landasan dalam memahami dan mengaplikasikan bidang ilmu ini. Adapun CPL pada mata kuliah ini adalah CPL 3, CPL 7, dan CPL 12. Mata kuliah ini memiliki 4 capaian pembelajaran mata kuliah atau CPMK. CPMK pertama, mahasiswa mampu menjelaskan konsep-konsep dasar teori pemerolehan bahasa kedua. CPMK 2, mahasiswa mampu menerapkan konsep-konsep pemerolehan bahasa kedua untuk berbagai tujuan dan dalam berbagai konteks pembelajaran dan pengajaran bahasa Inggris. CPMK 3, mahasiswa mampu menunjukkan kemandirian, kualitas, dan komitmen dalam proses pembelajaran yang mencerminkan nilai-nilai kemanusiaan dan konservasi dalam kehidupan akademik. CPMK 4, mahasiswa mampu menganalisis data pemerolehan bahasa. Dalam pelaksanaan pembelajaran mata kuliah ini, proses pembelajaran dilaksanakan melalui 3 komponen utama, yaitu delivery, interaction, dan assessment. Pada tahap delivery, saya menyediakan rencana pembelajaran semester atau RPS yang saya unggah di Sikadu yang merupakan sistem akademik terpadu di UNES. Materi pembelajaran serta berbagai sumber belajar lain yang sesuai dengan topik pembelajaran. Penyampaian materi dilakukan melalui perkuliahan tatap muka maupun pembelajaran berbasis teknologi yang dapat diakses melalui Elena. Elena adalah e-learning yang dimiliki oleh UNES yang mendukung pembelajaran interaktif. Pada tahap interaction, proses pembelajaran melibatkan komunikasi 2 arah antara dosen dan mahasiswa melalui diskusi, tanya jawab, presentasi, dan kerja kelompok sehingga tercipta suasana belajar yang aktif dan kolaboratif. Sementara itu, assessment dilakukan secara berkelanjutan melalui assessment formatif dan asesmen sumatif. Asesmen formatif meliputi kuis, tugas individu, tugas kelompok, proyek, presentasi, serta penilaian sikap dan partisipasi. Adapun asesmen sumatif dilakukan melalui ujian tengah semester dan ujian akhir semester. Untuk bobot penilaian terdiri atas aktivitas partisipatif yang mencakup kehadiran dan partisipasi aktif dalam perkuliahan dengan bobot 15%, hasil proyek berupa portofolio dengan bobot 40%, tugas individu sebesar 10%, kuis sebesar 5%, serta ujian tengah semester dan ujian akhir semester yang masing-masing memiliki bobot 15%. Untuk model pembelajaran yang digunakan disesuaikan dengan karakteristik materi, seperti menggunakan project-based learning, problem-based learning, ataupun pendekatan pembelajaran aktif lainnya yang berpusat pada mahasiswa. Dalam perkuliahan ini juga menggunakan referensi yang berasal dari buku-buku terbaru, artikel ilmiah bereputasi, serta berbagai sumber akademik yang relevan. Demikian pengenalan singkat mengenai mata kuliah Introduction to Second Language Acquisition. Selanjutnya, mari kita simak proses pembelajaran pada salah satu pertemuan yang saya lakukan dengan topik Individual Differences in Second Language Acquisition. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, hello everyone. How are you?
Okay. How about you, ma'am?
Okay, great. Okay, so let's start our meeting today with a prayer. Pray, begin. Thank you. Okay, so before we start our meeting today, I would like to review our previous material. Anyone still remember what we learned in the previous meeting?
May I, ma'am? Last week we learned about the social cultural perspective in SLA.
Can you elaborate about that?
This theory explained that learning language is influenced by social interaction and culture. This theory developed by Vygotsky that believe people learning language by their interaction and their environment.
Okay, yeah, excellent, Zunita. Yeah, thank you for your response. All right. Now, today we are going to continue to the next material about individual differences in SLA. To start our discussion today, I would like to give you a simple scenario. So, let's say there are two students, student A and student B. So, they are learning a second language. They learn in the same place, in the same environment, with the same teacher, have access to the same material resources, given the same instruction. However, at the end of the course, they receive different result. Let's say student A got higher mark than student B. So, why do you think this can happen? Anyone want to share? Okay, Anita.
I think the student who got higher mark is more motivated, and they probably learn English outside the classroom through movies, books, or talking with their friend with English.
Okay, great. Any other response?
One student might have been nervous during speaking activities or tests. Anxiety can make it harder to learn and perform well.
Okay, great, Nova. Okay, next. One more response?
May I, ma'am?
Yes,
So
sure.
I think many factors influence language learning, like not just the teacher, like motivation, confidence, learning strategies, personality, and practice will evaluate the final result.
Okay, yeah, good answer, Izun. Okay, so we are talking about differences in learning a language, right? Now, before we discuss further about that, I would like to review briefly about a second language and also a second language acquisition. Yeah. So I believe everyone here already know that a second language is the language, an additional language that we get after we acquire the native or the first language, right? And second language acquisition refers to the process through which individuals learn an additional language through instruction, interaction, and exposure. So, although people can learn language with the same environment, but they can receive different language proficiency level, right? Now, this lead to our discussion today, lead to our topic today about individual differences in SLA and how they can influence the process and outcome of second language acquisition, right? Okay, now let's start with the definition of individual differences. So, there are several definitions from various experts about individual differences. For example, from Donnier, so he stated that individual differences are enduring personal characteristics that are assumed to apply to everybody and on which people differ by degree. Another definition from Kattegut. So he stated that the variation or deviation among individual is regard to a single characteristic or a number of characteristics, those differences which in their totality distinguish one individual from another. Yeah, and then another one from Skinner. So he stated that individual differences as including any measurable aspects of the total personality. So even though the definition from various experts define individual differences differently, but they share common ideas. So individual differences refer to learner-specific variables that influence the process and outcome of SLA. So this is explained why learners with similar learning experiences often achieve different language learning outcomes. Yeah. So what are the examples of individual differences? So the examples include the age of the learners, the learner's motivation, language aptitude, the learner's personalities, learning styles, anxiety in learning, and also cognitive style. So we are going to talk about this one by one in this meeting. Okay? Alright, now let's start with age. Yeah? So talking about age, we are talking about period in language learning. So in language acquisition, there is a period of learning that we call as critical period. So what is it? So critical period suggests that there is a biologically determined period, generally before puberty, during which language acquisition occurs most naturally and efficiently. So if we learn a language in this period or near this period, the result will most likely more natural and the process is more efficient. Okay? Now, so what are the effects of age in language acquisitions? So if we talk about age, there are two categories of learners, young learners and adult learners. Both have advantages. Yeah, so for example, for young learners, when we learn a language in the early age, more likely the learner will achieve more native-like pronunciation. So they will acquire pronunciation and accent more naturally through exposure, because young learners usually more sensitive to sound distinctions. Yeah, and then what about adult learners? So adult learners also have their own advantages. So if when we learn a language in the adult age, usually the learners will be more aware of what they are learning, right? Because they already have cognitive maturity. They already have better analytical skills and also have prior learning experiences. So usually the attention span of the adult learners is better, or they have longer attention span in learning language. Yeah, so this will affect that for adult learners usually will learn grammar, vocabulary more quickly during the early stages of learning. Yeah, okay, so these are the effect of age in language learning. Okay, now let's talk about the next factor in SLA. Language aptitude. Yeah, so what is it? So language aptitude is a learner's natural ability to learn a second language. So all learners have this, even though the degree will be different, yeah, from one learner to another. So what are the language aptitude? The first one is phonemic coding ability. So the ability to identify, distinguish, and retain language sounds. The second one is grammatical sensitivity. What is it? This is the ability to recognize the grammatical function of words in sentences. The third language aptitude is inductive language learning ability. So this is the ability to identify patterns and infer grammatical rules from language input. The last one is associative memory. So the ability to form and recall connection between words, meaning, and language forms. Yeah, and later, in the later years, Ski Han expanded this concept by linking language aptitude with working memory to support language processing and learning. Motivation. Nah, this is one of the most influential individual differences in second language acquisition. So motivation is our drive to learn something. So I believe everyone here has their own motivation of learning English. So I want to know some of your motivation in learning English as your second language. Yeah, Nova, can you share what your motivation in learning?
So my motivation in learning English is I have a big dream of studying abroad.
Okay, all right. Lucky, can you also share your motivation in learning English?
My personal motivation of learning English is to study abroad and get a job.
Study abroad and get a job. Good. Okay. What about Zunita? What's your motivation in learning English?
My motivation to learning English is also same with Nova. I want to study abroad, so because that I must be able to speaking English fluently.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Great. So yeah, great motivation to learn English. Okay. Now let's see. Yeah, whether your motivation belong to integrative motivation or instrumental motivation. So Gartner's divide the type of motivation into integrative motivation and instrumental motivation. Okay, so we can divide the language learning motivation into these two types of motivation. Later, Donye in 2005 expand the concept of motivation into motivational self system. So motivation that is related to the learners themselves. Yeah. Okay. So the first motivation is ideal L2 self. What is it? So this motivation is the learner's vision of themselves as a successful second language user. So this acts as an internal source of motivation. Yeah, so if you want to learn a language, a new language, and it comes from your internal motivation. The second motivation is O2, L2 self. So this is the motivation driven by external expectation and responsibilities. So for example, so the motivation from your parents' expectation, from workplace demands or graduation requirements. Yeah, so you have to take TOEFL test. That's O2, L2 self-motivation. The last type of motivational self-system is L2 learning experience. So the motivation that is influenced by the immediate learning environment. For example, from the teacher. So you are motivated to learn a language because of the teacher. Yeah, and then because of the classroom atmosphere, so it encourages you to learn more from the learning materials, so you like the materials, and then from the classroom activities. So this can also motivate you to learn a second language. Okay, now next, yeah, next is about personal traits affecting SLA. So the learner's personal traits that have an effect in the outcome of SLA. So these personal traits don't guarantee 100 successful second language learning, but it can affect. So what are they? The first one is extroversion. So usually So an extrovert student will be more engaged to the learning activity. So usually they will initiate conversation or participate more in speaking activities, right? So this kind of traits will provide greater opportunities for language practice. Yeah. Okay. Next, yeah. Next is about learning styles in SLA. So, yeah, in learning, there are 3 types of learning style in which the learners prefer in perceiving or processing information. Yeah, the first one is visual learners, right? So, for visual learners, they will learn best through images, diagrams, chart, or written text. Or students who prefer to learn through auditory, from listening, discussion, or verbal explanation. Or learners who prefer hands-on practice, kinesthetics, yeah. So they prefer direct practice or hands-on activities, movement, things like that. So this also will affect the way we acquire second language. Next is about cognitive styles, the way the student solve problems. Yeah, there are 2 types of learners. The first one is field independent learners. So learners who focus on specific details and analyze information independently. So usually they will prefer to work by themselves on their own. They prefer structured tasks and problem-solving activities and tend to perform well in grammar analysis or rule discovery. The second type of learners is field-dependent learners. Yeah, so usually they will understand information through context and the overall picture. Yeah, with the help of context, and then so they will prefer to collaborate with their peer, yeah, through social interactions. So usually they tend to excel in communicative and contextual language tasks. Now, because of this, the teacher in classroom should use varieties of activities in classroom to accommodate different style in learning, different style of thinking that are possessed by the students. Okay. Next is about the influence of first language acquisition. So, what is L1 influence? So, first language influence, also known as language transfer. So, it refers to the effect of learners' native language on learning a second language. So, L1 can both facilitate or interfere with second language acquisition. There are 2 types of language transfer. Positive transfer, when L1 and L2 are similar. So, it will help in learning a second language. Negative transfer, it is interference in second language acquisition, so occurs when differences between L1 and L2 lead to errors. Okay, next, yeah. So, male learners can still achieve the same level of proficiency with sufficient motivation, practice, and learning opportunities. So there are other factors that will affect second language acquisition. Yeah. Okay. Now, all right. So, any questions about our discussion today? Yes.
So, as a teacher, how could we accommodate a student with various individual differences?
Okay, yeah, that's a great question, yeah, Fadia. So, we know that students have their own characteristics and uniqueness, right? So, we have to realize that. Therefore, as a teacher, we have to create an inclusive learning environment in class. For example, we have to use differentiated language instructions, or you can use various activities to accommodate the students with different learning styles. Yeah, you can give support and feedback to your students, so they will be more motivated in learning. Yeah, so that's why we can make sure and encourage all the students are involved in all the activities in the classroom. Okay, now for the last exercise, I would like to give you an exercise to do a group discussion. So the task is to identify language learning profile based on individual differences. Yeah, okay. So please identify all the learning profile here based on the individual differences. Explain the description of the trait, how it affects learning, and example of situation. Yeah, I will give you 5 minutes to discuss, and then please present the result of your discussion after this. Okay, ready? Yes. Okay. Yeah, please share the result of your discussion.
Should I come forward or just here?
Come forward, please.
Okay, everyone. So for the next type of individual difference is language aptitude, where language aptitude refers to a person's natural ability to learn foreign language, such as remembering the structures or even like acquiring new vocabularies. And for how it affects learning, usually the learners with high aptitude, with high language aptitude, they usually understand or catch all the materials, including grammar and also phonetic, or even like memorizing vocabularies, so much quicker than the other students with the lower language aptitude. And for the example situation, it was like the example, me and also Jaslyn. So I can say like Jaslyn can immediately remember new vocabulary even she only heard once. But me myself, I need to always review it several times to remember vocabulary.
All right, yes, please give applause everyone. Thank you Fitri for your presentation. Okay, good job. Okay, now I think now we get an understanding about individual differences that can affect second language acquisition. So to sum up our discussion today, we know that second language acquisition is a complex process. It doesn't only depend on teaching methods, learning resources, but also factors such as age, language aptitude, motivation, personalities, learning styles, anxiety, and so on. Yeah, so that's why second language acquisition is the result of the interaction between multiple cognitive activities, affective, and also social factors. Okay, so that's all everyone for today, for our meeting today. Thank you very much for your attention and engagement in the class. For the next material, I have uploaded the reading material on Elena. Please download it from your Elena account. Read it before you come to the class next week so we can discuss about it. Okay, that's all. See you in the next meeting. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, ma'am.
Demikian pemaparan dan proses dokumentasi proses pembelajaran pada mata kuliah Introduction to Second Language Acquisition. Semoga gambaran ini dapat menunjukkan pelaksanaan pembelajaran yang aktif, kolaboratif, serta berorientasi pada pencapaian kompetensi mahasiswa. Terima kasih atas perhatiannya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.